This is the best possible start for Clerics in Ashes of Creation. I'm going to teach you how to get to level 8 and level 9, level 10 with best in slot crafted weapons, which are the best weapons you can get without rare monster drops before level 10. How to become completely overpowered to solo with ease and smash level 10 content. This is a simple, easy to follow, effortless, no luck involved, all solo, no guild, no friends, no grouping required guide. All the other guides out there require grouping for some reason. I'm not about that. Let's get into it. Now, when making your character, this guide requires that you start in the zone of the Divine Gateway of the Dunzinkel. If you do not start in this location, you will not be able to follow this guide. And the reason I'm having you start here, even though it is still a work in progress, this area is way more streamlined, it's way more efficient, it's faster, it's less crowded, it's easier to follow, it's easier to get your gathering up, it's easier to get your grinding going. This entire area is just way better than the Gateway of the Ayla, alright? I have one disclaimer, and this is simply at the time of posting December 25th, 2025. I do not know if this will remain in the game or if this will be changed, as I am making this during the Alpha Stage 3 of the game. Currently, there is a quest in the desert region of the game that can only be done by the the Valoon race. So if you do not make a Valoon character, you will not be able to do this desert quest. And this quest is for a level 20 healing cape. Now, obviously, other characters will be able to craft better capes, but it is a level 20 healing cape with lots of armor. So it's also good if you want to be like an off-tank, which as a cleric, you should really build tanky at some point in your journey, though not at the start. And I'll talk about that later. So be aware, if you really want to min-max at level 20, Valoon is the current racial choice, as if you are any other race, which I am going to be choosing Empyrean, you will not be able to pick up that quest and receive that healing cloak. But you can't use it till level 20, and this guide is to level 10. As soon as you spawn in, we are going to change our starting equipment only ever so slightly. We're going to be picking up a shield and replacing it with our focus. Now, a focus is an offhand equipment that gives us magical crit chance and magic power, which doesn't really contribute much, and there's not any real good upgrades for this up to level 10 unless you get a lucky drop. So instead, because we, as a cleric, most of our damage is going to be coming from melee attacks and not so much spells. You'll see later as we level up. So we're going to replace it with a shield. And to get the shield, as soon as you spawn in, right here to the left side, there is this pillar. Walk over here. And you'll see behind all this little crowd of dwarves, there's a shield on the ground. It looks like this. Just push F, pick up the rusty shield, push I. You can just right-click it, and that replaces your focus. And this is going to give us physical block defense and physical block chance, as well as strength and maximum HP. And what this does is gives us a 15% chance to automatically block, which will then reduce the damage taken by 25%. And we're going to be stacking up our physical defense even more, because right now it's at 1%. I mean, we don't have any armor yet, but we're going to be stacking a lot of defense because we do a lot of face tanking. As a cleric, we also get to choose a starting divine power. Push K to open your skill tree. Click this plus button at the bottom. And what you're going to choose is Divine Infusion. So what this does is we have a resource called Divine Power, which will go up during combat. By picking Divine Infusion, we can cast an ability that will automatically finish the channeling of an ability, which we will be getting later, called Judgment, which has a 4.2 second cast time, or a big massive burst heal, or a big massive burst of damage, which we will be combining with Divine Infusion in order to instantly cast. Except we want to have the starter quest path be Hammer's Rest, so what we're going to be doing is from the spawn, you're going to walk forward, you will see 2 red diamonds with 2 NPCs, and what we want to do is talk to Gatewatcher Stonebeard on the left side here. And we want to click Might and Industry. This sets us on the Hammer Rest path. So we're going to hit yes, and then we will mash through the dialogue. Now, this has us go to the left curving side here with a quest that says to clear the path of empty Clayborn. And if we walk ahead, we have these clay statues. And yes, they are not placeholder. Well, maybe they're placeholder graphics a bit. But, yeah, they're clay statues. They're level 1, they're easy to kill, and we're going to be killing 5 of them while we also do destiny quests, and I'll explain how to do that. So here is all the things that we need to do while we are fighting these Claiborne. We need to attack 10 times with melee, so I'm going to show you that now. I'm just going to walk up to the first Claiborne here and just turn on my melee scepter auto attack, and now my character will just smash into him. Not a big deal. Now, the cool thing about healing is while I have the enemy selected, if I cast heal, it will just automatically target myself, so I can just constantly keep my HP full. These guys are so easy, you don't really need to do this, though. Now, in order to check your destiny quest, push the L button, and then what we are doing is a novice combat right here, alright? And you'll see that I just did perform a weapon combo 10 out of 10 times, attack with melee weapon during combat. I'm going to click this and click claim, and get a little bit of bonus XP. And by completing all of these quests, I'm going to unlock some rewards, which will give us better gear. Now, when you kill the first Claiborne, every single time they will drop red clay chunks. Go ahead also and just right-click this, it'll sit down and start eating them. This completes a destiny objective, and these are really cheap, don't worry about wasting these. This completes a first steps destiny called use rations to rest and heal. That's going to give us 200 XP and level us to level 2, alright? So, pretty cool stuff. Now that we're level 2, our first spell that we're going to learn is Judgment. Now, the way Judgment works is if we cast it on ourselves, it is a big, powerful burst heal. So you can see here, this heals me for 114, which is almost all of my health. And if I cast it on the enemy, it will deal 280 radiant damage and apply burning, which combines with our smite, so if the target is burning, they become conflagration. And that makes them burn even more. So the combo, our opener when we fight mobs, normally will be open with Judgment, and then we open with Smite, and then we melee them. So there we go, and this guy tried to steal my mob kill, but see, look at that, they're already dead in 2 hits. Very, very easy to kill. Just remember though, this is the list, so what I'm going to do, I'm out of combat, I'm going to sprint, that completes a destiny. I'm going to then swap to my ranged attack and attack them 10 times. I'm going to mash my block key 3 times. You don't have to actually block an attack. Just push the block button 3 times. That's all you gotta do. Be aware in combat, your melee attack has kind of a cleaving effect. You can see when I'm attacking, it's hitting both of the mobs, even though there's an NPC that is killing the mob for me. Also, your ranged weapon, your spellbook has a chain effect. When I hit an enemy, it kind of splashes and hits the ones nearby. Not all ranged weapons do this. This is particular to the spell tome. But what I recommend that you do is that you fight with the scepter most of the time. And as you kill these Claiborne, you are going to eventually hit a weapon skill level up. Anyway, once you've killed the 5 Claiborne, don't worry about claiming the destiny rewards yet, or that weapon skill up. We'll talk about that in just a sec. What you're going to do is you're going to run to the next NPC and turn in the quest and get the follow-up. Once you've gotten the follow-up from this NPC, your quest reward is an amulet. You're going to equip the amulet, which will then complete 6 out of 8 of your novice combat destinies here. And we're going to claim all the rewards real quick just to get that extra XP. Always helps. And then we're going to click claim up here, and that's going to claim an adventurer's health kit and a lost weapons chest. So there we go. Now, for the lost weapon chest, you can only choose one reward. You're going to be choosing the spell book, the lost spell book. And you may be thinking, but Swole Benji, I'm going to be using the scepter to attack. Here's how items work in Ashes of Creation. Your spellbook, even though it is not being actively used, it is a stat stick. So if you had a very high magic-powered spellbook, you will still deal lots of damage, regardless of what weapon you're currently attacking with. So this is why you need to be upgrading both of your weapons, and of course your offhand when feasible. So by equipping the Lost Spellbook, that gives us a bigger upgrade than if we chose the Scepter reward. Let's allocate your weapon passives. So go to your weapon tab here, and then on Rusty Scepter, you're going to click this weapon skill slot, and you're going to choose Daze. Honestly, it doesn't matter which one you choose. Stagger makes it harder for enemies to evade. Daze slows down enemies' ability cast timers, which is more important. But honestly, it doesn't make too much of a difference. For your Lost Spellbook, you're going to choose Burning. Volatile is good for single target. Burning sets up your smite for conflagration, so it's always just a better choice. Once that's done, you're going to then proceed to the next quest giver. Now, on the way, you could grind these mobs, but they're not really worth it. It's better to get to a better suitable area with a better drop table and higher level mobs, because we can nuke down a single mob pretty quick. This quest is pretty simple. We're going to talk to the NPC and exhaust their dialogue, get the follow-up. We're going to then go back the opposite direction and talk to this NPC here and exhaust their dialogue, and then we're going to go to this orb thing and attune to it. This lets us respawn here if we die. Even though we've discovered it, we can still choose this if it's the closest one. Alright, after that, we will then run back over to the original NPC and finish the quest, getting, again, the next follow-up, which will have us kill Stonewoke Automata to get an item drop. So usually you can get this on the first kill, sometimes you don't. But these things are insanely easy. They have like 120 HP, not a big deal. Just smite them, use your judgment, melee them down, and they'll die relatively fast. So let's see if I get it first try. And I did. So there we go. Quest complete. Once that's done, we also, by the way, we have a mount now. So go ahead, and I highly recommend that you hotkey your mount. There we go. Push G to get on it. And also hotkey the mount's dash ability. This is how you exit combat. When you get overwhelmed by mobs, you're going to need to summon your mount on it, and then sprint away on your mount in order to survive. Also, fun fact, currently in the alpha, mounts, they're supposed to regenerate HP over time naturally, but they don't. And clerics are one of the classes that can heal their mount and other players' mounts. So people will be begging you, they will be kneeling before you to heal their mounts. So do note that your mount, if it dies, it goes on a 10-minute cooldown until you can resummon it. So it acts as a kind of a minion. It will not fight for you, but it will aggro enemy mobs and they can kill it. But also you can kill your mount with fall damage. Now, if you jump from a very high place while mounted, your mount will absorb all of the fall damage, killing it and sparing you. You will take no fall damage if you are on your mount. So there you go. That's a quick rundown of the mounts. By now you should have killed at least 10 enemies and rode your mount, so that gives you more first steps on the destiny. On your way to turn in the quest, you'll come across this guy named Archaeologist Hatcher. You'll notice any NPCs with a shimmering nameplate usually have a quest or something, so just talk to him. He's got a quest to dust off this statue thing in front of us. We're just going to push the F button to clean the statue. And it takes a bit of time sometimes for the quest to complete. And it's supposed to have like a progress bar here, but it bugs out. So there we go. We just did it. Now we talk to him. Make sure you talk to him again to complete the quest. Otherwise, you don't get any rewards. So make sure you finish that quest. I have seen so many streamers clean the statue and then run off. They get too excited. Like, you got to turn in the quest, bub. But anyway, this spot is a little bit important. It's a little bit iffy. So when we talk to Ash and get the next part of the quest, they will have us move a box. They will have us move this crate. Alright, we also hit level 3. Now, moving this crate flags you for... Now, it doesn't flag you for PvP, but it makes you vulnerable to be attacked in PvP. So you'll notice up here you have a little dove icon that says PvP opt-in protection. You will lose this protection at level 10. You also lose this protection anytime you pick up a very heavy pack, or if you go into open waters, or if you go into a PvP zone. There's a lot of ifs. But griefers in this area can fight and kill you, and when you die, you lose a few things. When you die, you're going to lose 25% of what's in your materials bag, and then you will lose another 25% dropped on the ground, which you can then loot when you get back to your corpse. However, another player can loot that 25% of materials that you lost and flag them as a criminal for 3 minutes. It's not a big deal. But just be aware, people might be here to grief, and that is a thing that's currently happening. Secondly, when you die, you go into what's called experience debt. Now, at this level, it's worth 2 mobs of debt. So the way experience debt works is you will not lose XP that you've gained, but you will not gain XP until you pay off the debt. So in this case, I'll have a red bar on my experience bar at the bottom of the screen that says experience debt. It'll be like experience debt of 200 or something. So I kill mobs until I gain 200 XP and that debt is paid. But that's how death works. So just be careful in this area whenever you pick up this backpack. You also run slow. And you may be thinking, well, what if you just summon your mount? Because mounts are fast. If your mount is not a Beast of Burden mount, it will not move any faster than this. One way to move faster in this form is to do a combat roll or a dodge roll. You could also sprint, but I find that the dodge rolling is just easier, faster, and better. But do whatever you need to do. Make sure that you rush to the next quest NPC like I have, and turn it in as soon as possible to get that PvP protection back. That way no one griefs you. Now, if someone tries to grief you around guards, the guards will jump them and kill them. And then, yeah, and if you try to loot their dead body, the guards will then loot and kill you, or they'll kill you because you committed a crime. So just be aware of that. That's simple game mechanics. Now, you'll notice I turned in the quest and I haven't gotten my PvP protection back yet. That will come back in a few minutes, but it does take time. That way, it prevents players from dropping their backpack and being immune to being PvP'd. So, another note, we have a quest called Collect Heart Stones from Claiborne Guardians. And you'll see on the left here, I have a Claiborne Guardian as soon as I enter this room. I don't know if this is bug or just bad luck, but when I kill the Claiborne Guardians on the left, they don't drop the quest reward. So, always go over here to the right side and kill these instead. And right now, we're just going to fight these one at a time. Make sure that you're fighting one that someone else hasn't touched. That way you get credit for it. But our opener is, we're going to open with Judgment into Smite, into auto attacks, and we're just going to Smite whenever it's off cooldown. And then we're just going to keep ourselves healed. Now, these Guardians are known as tank mobs. They are meant to be tanky and hard to kill. So if it feels like you're killing them slowly, well, you're not wrong about that, alright? But we are killing it rather quickly compared to some of the other classes at our level. But just make sure that you're farming the ones on the right side, because the ones on the left, I don't know why they don't drop the quest reward. At level 3, you're going to be choosing Healing Touch as your first heal ability. This is a heal that will instantly heal anything in melee range, including yourself, for a high amount of healing power. It has a reasonable high cooldown, so it's just a nice boosted heal that whenever you need it. Also, you will start to get level ups in your stamina tree. This stamina tree doesn't really matter all that much, but I just choose the sprint option just to make it easier. But you can choose whatever you want. The choices here don't really matter until very high levels. And again, you could respec for free currently in the alpha. For your weapon, you're going to go to Rusty Scepter, and you're going to go down here to where it says all weapon combo attacks gain 3% penetration, and learn that. Same thing with your spellbook. You're going to just go for the penetration. Or base damage, or deadly finisher. You don't really use your spellbook for anything more than pulling, because once we get some more weapon abilities, your scepter will out DPS your spellbook. So I'm just going to go with 10% trigger chance. It doesn't really matter what you choose for the spellbook all that much. When proceeding to the next area here, it can be rather dangerous to run through the room, because you're going to aggro a lot of these Claiborne Guardians in the next few rooms. And they can easily kill you or overwhelm you, and it just causes problems. But also, we don't want to proceed to the next area yet, because we're about to get to the main quest hub, crafting area, and if we're under level 5 when we do that, we won't be able to complete these adventure, crafting, gathering, and processing destinies as efficiently as we can. Also, you should have first steps 4 out of 8, which gives you another health kit. You can go ahead and claim that whenever you feel like it. But what we're going to do now is, in this area, we are going to grind mobs until we are level 4.5. So I'm currently level 3 and 37.9%. And what you can do is you can fight the laborers in the middle. They give half as much XP as the Guardians, but they hit harder because they are DPS, whereas the Guardians are tanks. So just kill whatever you can and level up to 4.5. Now, this process will feel a bit slow at first. Just note that, like, I'm fighting 2 at a time, and they can't kill me. I have too much mana. They are really, really easy to kill. They just take time to kill. And unfortunately, as a cleric, your kill time speed is going to be rather slow, especially when trying to cleave down groups of mobs for quite a bit until we level up to a certain point, and then it will become insanely, ridiculously, massively fast. Here is the combo, or your skill rotation. When you are not in combat, open with Judgment, then Smite, then Melee. So we're going to Smite. He's going to jump at me. We're going to dodge roll that. You don't have to dodge roll. Make sure you just heal yourself whenever you can. Cast Smite whenever it's off cooldown. In melee range, it's instant cast, which is really nice. And as you're doing this, you're going to be building up your divine power meter. And whenever you have enough divine power, what you can do is, in the middle of pulling a mob or in the middle of fighting a mob, you can instant cast your judgment. If you're like, let's say I'm in the middle of fighting something, right? And, well, I have 8 more seconds until I can cast judgment again. But you can see these things die rather fast. The Guardian's not as fast. It's fine. Just grind whichever. But you can see my Judgment is now off cooldown, so I'm going to start casting Judgment, and then I'm going to cast Divine Infusion, instant casting Judgment, and that is a way, way faster way to kill the mobs. Now, these guys, I could probably take a few of them at a time. Let's try to pull 3. If you pull too many, then you just back out, but you can spam heals on yourself. And right now, we don't have blessed weapons, so we're just cleaving what's in front of us. Now, another thing, too, you'll notice these guys are chunking me a bit hard. So what I can do in this situation is target myself, start casting Judgment, instant cast it for a huge burst heal on myself. This is how you keep yourself alive. You generally won't be dying to mobs unless you pull too many or if you run out of mana. And that's pretty much all it is about being a healer, is just mana management. And later, once we get Blessed Weapon, we're going to be restoring mana at a very rapid rate to ourselves. So you can see, I have Judgment, I instant cast it to myself. They're not going to kill me. Even though I pulled 3 at a time, they're chunking me pretty hard. But, yeah, I know this is slow. It is slow. But, again, once we hit level 6, this will speed up dramatically. Now, a few other combat tips is, whenever you see the enemy doing what's called clobbering swing, if you roll over the halfway point of their cast bar, during your roll, this game doesn't do it like Dark Souls where you have an immunity frame. It does it where, during your dodge roll, your dodge chance is increased to 100%. Also, we just hit level 4 there. So, while your dodge chance is at 100%, as long as the next hit that hits you is their big swing, it will always miss. And so this makes it a lot easier to just negate damage from them, though you don't really need to. They're so easy, and we're a healer anyway, it honestly doesn't matter. But yeah, like, I can just tank this, oh, whoop-de-doo, and then, you know, immediately heal past it. It's however you want to play. But another thing to note is, if you do get low on mana, which I didn't get low on mana at all before hitting 4, but if you do note that when you sit down, which is the default X key, you get this buff called Resting, which gives you flat health and mana per second, and this is how you would quickly get your mana back if you don't want to use your rations. At level 4, you're going to choose Soothing Glow, and this is a heal over time ability. So yeah, it's the reason why we took Healing Touch and Soothing Glow is they are technically instant cast, even though the tooltip doesn't say they are. If we were to insta cast this, which well, it's lagging, but yeah, there we go. So the amount that this heals is just more mana efficient, and the fact that we can insta-cast it means we don't have to interrupt what we're doing in order to do it. And you're gonna need this later on when we like pull the entire freaking room to kill everything at once. You're gonna want this on your character at full stacks. As your weapons level up, you're just going to continue down the path getting more penetration, which just means more damage. And for your book, you can just get more trigger chance. It's whatever you want to do. Now, as you grind, these guys can drop nice gear upgrades. They drop some earrings here with power and crit chance, which is nice. Also, we've completed some quests. We'll open these chests in just a bit. And we also completed our novice combat, so we can go ahead and claim this ranged weapon chest, which is really, really helpful. And will increase our kill speed. I didn't really have enough divine power here to be worth casting that, but it still hits really hard. Ooh, we got a ring too. Look at that. Power and max HP, and you have two ear slots, 2 ring slots, an amulet slot, a cape, helmet, waist. We're gonna get, as we grind, we're gonna be getting more and more gear to fill up these slots. Alright, so I am now level 4 and 51%, and I'm gonna be even higher when I kill this guy. So yeah. Once you're at level 4 and 50%, we can move on and turn in the quest. And yeah, you don't need to stay here for now, though you can. You are free to grind here as long as you want, and we're going to be doing a lot of grinding. Also, as a cleric, some people might be in distress, like this guy. He is literally going to die. Oh no, this room normally pulls like everybody, so if you want to be a kind lad, well, you know, just help him out. And there we go. We're going to give him the fat heals. So now he's going to turn around and he's going to find the resolve and courage to take on these guys. And, you know, we can also give them some, you know, heal over time. So you could be nice as a healer, or you can be mean. It's, oh, dang, I missed the elevator. But anyway, we're going to go up the elevator now and turn in the quest. Oh, I could've, there's no guards, so I could've let him die and looted his corpse. I'm going to be a nice guy for Ashes of Creation. In my other videos, in World of Warcraft, I was a villain. In Albion, I was a villain. I'm going to be a nice, cool, friendly Benji for Ashes of Creation, alright? And as long as I'm treated nicely in return. Anyway, we're going to, that priest casted his heal over time on me for some reason. So, I mean cleric, not priest. We're not priests yet. You can become a priest later. Anyway, for this quest, you just go up to the NPCs with the red diamond over their head, and then you push F to give them a healing salve, which is not an actual potion that we have. Yes, I know healing salves are in the game, and we could use them, but these are specifically quest item healing salves. There is no harm in using them, so just go ahead and apply them. Anyway, we have another set of elevators to use, and so we're going to go up, and then we're going to go to Commander Dun's Chasm, or Dun's Chasm, and turn in the quest. So this is Hammer Rest. This is a novice tier 1 crafting zone. It's like a little town hub. Not really a town. Towns, let me explain, before we turn in the quest, let me explain how towns work in Ashes of Creation. So this is the world map, and this is our starting zone, this big snowy mountain. The other starting zone is all the way down here in this little white shaded area. If you were to ride your mount right now, from where we are to here, it would take you 1 hour of real life time to get down here, okay? So, pretty far away, but unlike other games, unlike World of Warcraft where you have Stormwind and Orgrimmar, or Albion Online where you have Fort Sterling and Bridgewatch, okay, or, you know, whatever your MMORPG flavor of choice may be, there aren't really towns in the natural sense in Ashes of Creation. All the towns are player created. It is a sandbox. So if we go over here to this region is called the Vlaalgadim, and you can see people are actual players. Oh, wow. There's a lot now. When I made a previous video showing, you can go check out my rogue guide or my tank guide. This thing was underdeveloped, but now there are player buildings here. People are building stuff. These are all player-owned, player-operated, player-built, as far as I know. Here's the sheriff. They got a mayor, it looks like. Everything's player-built. So right now, Hammer Rest, and just south, we have a Hammer Rest trade outpost. These are tier 1 starter zones. They have tier 1 benches where you can only craft tier 1 gear. You can't really do much more than that. It's just baby stuff. Once you hit level 10, you have the ability to become a citizen of a town, which is, it's not quite like factions or anything, but it means you kind of live in that area and you do things to benefit the town, and you also pay tax. There's a whole lot with citizenship and settlements, but the long story short is we're going to get, you know, for our weapons, we're going to get best in slot for tier 1. When we hit level 10, we'll be freaking set to go grind, do quests in other areas, and eventually join a settlement and craft and do all that kind of stuff, right? So yeah, that is how player towns work. I know that's just a real brief, you know, touch up on it. But yeah, like I'm playing on a fresh server that's only a few weeks old, I believe. I think it's 2 weeks old. So this town is not as built up as, say, on a long-term server that's been around for months, okay? So, depending on when you play or what server you play on, every town's going to be different, every crafting bench is going to be different, and so you'll have to kind of play around what town you decide to settle in. And you can change towns, but when you choose to become a citizen of a town, it's for your whole account, not your character, so keep that in mind. But anyway, we're going to go turn in the quest here. And I know we've got a lot of rewards. By the way, you can't talk to them on your mount. It's kind of rude, I guess, so make sure you dismount. And there we go. So you can see we're almost level 5. We're going to go and talk to the next NPC up here. And that is going to give us the follow-up quest. Very, very cool, right? Provisioner Hammer Song. We're going to talk to this person. And there we go. We are now level 5. But there's something else we also need to do now that we're kind of over here. Is before we do anything else, before we do any questing, before we do any crafting or grinding, we're going to go down here. You see on the map there is like a mailbox icon and like some bricks. We're going to go over here to the mailbox icon, and near this mailbox is the storage clerk. We're going to talk to the storage clerk and just open the storage. Now it's very, very important that you follow my instructions here. Click this box and click general storage. here's why. Right now, if you put stuff in here, and I'll demonstrate this. If I put something into storage, this is how much storage I actually get. I get this many boxes. It's not a lot of boxes, okay? So instead, I'm going to select this storage, and now look how many boxes I get. I get a lot of storage, and you're going to need a lot of storage, okay? So what we're going to do is everything that is not glint, you're going to store. So I'm just going to hold shift right-click, or control right-click. Is it? I forget the button. Sometimes the button works, sometimes it doesn't. But normally you can just shift-click stuff into the storage. Let me try again. All right, go here, go here. There we go, and then Alt right-click to just store it. I swear the button changes every week, all right? But anyway, anything that is not glint, we're going to put in here for now. And everything that is glint, what we're going to do, without the storage open, we're going to open our inventory, go to our resource bag. We're going to right-click all the glint stacks and stack them up. So here's what we've got. We're going to go ahead and click these stacks and turn it into that. And what we're going to do with glint is this is essentially your starter money. You're going to sell this to a vendor, so we're going to turn around from the storage clerk. Right behind us is the Stoneworks vendor. It doesn't matter which vendor we sell it to. When we have the inventory open here, we can go to our materials bag and we can right-click this to sell it. That's 20 silver, and this is 2 silver. You might have more or less depending on how your grind went and how your item drops went. You won't exactly have what I have. You might have more, you might have less. But it's very important that you sell your glint to this vendor. It's also important that you store everything in the storage clerk here, which also, by doing so, unlocked more of the destinies in the first steps category. So this completes talk to the storage clerk, claim that, reach level 5, we just did that, and sell glint to a vendor, we did that. And by doing so, we unlock the Adventurer's Melee Weapon Chest. Alright, very cool stuff. Your Novice Combat should also be completed as you've leveled up and learned skills from your archetype and your stamina and your weapon trees. This will also complete. If this does not complete and you are level 5 and you have all your skill points allocated, log out and log back in and it should show as completed. It's sometimes bugged, sometimes not. Alright, now we have some more glint from the rewards. Make sure you get into a habit when you're in town, not forever, but for now, of selling the glint. There are NPCs that you can buy things with glint. That's for settlement stuff. We don't need to do settlement stuff till level 10. You're going to be making over 1 gold an hour early on anyway, so the early silver is really helpful for... It's helpful for things that we need to process and craft in order to get our best in slot pre-level 10 weaponry, okay? With that said, this is what your inventory should kind of look like. By the way, one of the quests we completed gave us a bunch of gathering tools. Now, these gathering tools, they're not much of an upgrade, but they are. You can see here, we get 2 extra mining speed, which is nothing. Nothing at all, not really worth it. However, look at the durability. Our crude mining pickaxe is 38 durability, and our novice mining pickaxe is 165 durability. 165 durability will take you about 1 hour of real-life time to wear down through. To repair your gear, go to anything that says vendor, any NPC, and just click the little repair button, and then open your inventory, go to Artisan Ship, and you can repair your gathering tools there. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to right-click and equip all of the green gathering tools we got from the quest reward. We are not going to throw away our gray gathering tools. These are still good. Let me tell you why. Let's say you go fishing, and fishing is an AFK gathering experience. You just cast out your fishing pole, you walk away from the keyboard. 1 hour later, that fishing pole that you have is going to break, and then you can't fish anymore. So what you do is you equip this one and you continue fishing until this one breaks, and then you go to town and repair. All right. So if you want to do extra long gathering sessions, you bring 2 tools with you, not 1. And you may be wondering, but I don't want to drop this on death. You do not drop your equipped gear. You do not drop your item inventory on death. You only drop 25% of your materials to the ether. It trashes. It's the trash rate. And then 25% is on your corpse for you to reclaim or for whoever killed you to claim. Alright? So that's how that works. Now, if you are a dirty, evil, mean, griefer bad boy, and you're running around just murdering people left and right, you will build up corruption. And as far as I know, I don't have proof, but from what I've heard from other players, corruption is what... I have never seen someone make colored text in the chat. Anyway, wow, they're really spamming it. What I have heard from other players is that if you grief and you gank too many times, you build up corruption, and when you finally get killed by another player, if your corruption is high enough, you will drop your equipment, not all of it, maybe some of it. And I don't know if you drop your your items or not, so at level 10, you're not going to be running around mass murdering people to worry about this stuff anyway. Alright, so before we continue with questing and grinding, we're going to be opening these chests, and you're going to have to make a choice. I'm going to explain the choice, and that is, do you want to be a clothware, leather, or plate? And I'm going to tell you why you should and shouldn't do either of the choices. My recommendation is that you go full cloth or full plate, and here is why. If you go full cloth, you will have the most spell damage, and you'll have the most spell stats, so more mana regeneration, all that kind of fun stuff. However, you will be very squishy, and you will have to be very good at keeping yourself healed, which you will be able to do if you're good at video games, I guess. But also, if you decide to make friends and go do group content, you will be expected to be in cloth gear because you want to heal as hard and as often as possible. That is your role as the healer. Whereas if you are only going to be playing solo, going full plate will make it so that you don't heal as hard and you don't hit as hard, but you will be able to sustain much more damage and you will have more base HP, meaning you can make more mistakes and have a more comfy and lazy, kind of semi-AFK grind style. Leather is just a mix of in between. It's okay damage, it's okay defenses, but you don't really get the best of either world. So when opening these chests, make sure that you choose one or the other. For the video, I will be choosing full plate, so I am going full physical defense, and that is going to give me a bunch of physical traits, which isn't going to scale my magic damage all that much, but it is... Like, the amount of damage that we deal with full cloth is not so much higher. It is higher, but it's not so much higher. Alright. Also, for the Adventurer's health kits, I recommend that you choose the Mana Salve or the Rations. Alright. We don't really ever eat rations as a healer unless we just need mana. But Mana Salve is way more... like, giving yourself mana is going to give yourself more healing than the Healing Salve, but you could also just do both. If you want an emergency heal, go for it. I don't know why when you have so many options to heal yourself anyway, but the choice is ultimately yours. These are tier 1 items, and the choice isn't damning. Don't feel guilty, and don't feel like you've made the wrong decision. But that's what I'm going. I'm going full plate, and so again, I'm choosing each gear piece that gives the most physical defense, that also says heavy armor. So you can see here, heavy armor. Because when you have 5 pieces of heavy armor, you get the heavy buff, which is physical defense increased. And from levels 1 to 10, there's like 2 spellcasters you gotta worry about in this area, and they just kind of knock you around. They don't really hit you that hard, but most of the elite mobs are all physical based, and that's what I like to defend against. And don't think you're smart by mixing the gear. Do not do that. The reason why is that, like, if I have this light armor leg, and I'm trying to get 5 pieces of light for the magic defense, I'm not going to get that, because if I mix in the gear, I won't complete any of the set. So again, you need to make a choice. I chose plate, I chose heavy armor, and that is what I am going. As far as this chest, the Recipes of Waste box, which sounds gross, but it means like your belt. You want to choose whichever one that you go with. So for me, if I go with Lost Squire belt, I can hover over that. That is the heavy armor belt, so I'm going to go with that. But there are better belts that drop from mob grinding, so we're almost never going to craft this. It's just, you know, a what if. For the Wanderer's ranged weapon chest, you are going to choose the Tome of Spells. Now look at this upgrade. We are going from 152 magic power to 397. Pretty damn huge. For the Wanderer's chest, again, I'm going physical, so that's 153 physical defense versus 20. And we get a lot more HP. Huge upgrade. And finally, for the melee weapon chest, you may be tempted. You may be tempted to go the Wanderer's Scepter, because that is a pretty big upgrade in magic power. However, don't. Because we're going to get a better scepter. It's going to take a little while. It's going to take, you know, maybe 2-3 hours, just because we have to wait on items to process. But in this weapon chest, you want to go with the Wanderer's Shield. You're not going to get a better shield until you do a group quest at level 10, and you're going to get a better weapon long before that, which will make things insanely easy. So, make sure that you choose the Wanderer's Shield instead. It will serve you way better. Once you're done with chest management there, you're going to get rid of or sell everything you can. In this case, we have this lost breastplate. This is not as good. The adventurer's pants are our starting gear, so we're just going to toss that. Toss the garb. The shield here, also a starter item. We're not going to toss the gathering gear because we're going to use that as a swap, but this lost spellbook is now replaced, so we're going to get rid of that. The dull focus, we can get rid of that as well. And then we're going to sort our inventory here. Make it nice and tidy, which I need to do it a little bit better than this. But you get the idea. Also, if your mount will not move inventory slots, that's because you have it summoned. So just unsummon it, and then you can move it about as you want. At level 5, your skill point, the most efficient thing that you can put into is Abundant Soothing Glow, which gives you another charge and lets you stack the duration up. Let me explain why other choices aren't as good. If you choose Escalating Mend, which heals you more, the more you use it in quick succession, this is a total of 54 extra healing. If you choose Plentiful Mend, you get 2 additional charges. This gives you around 102 extra healing. If you choose Flash Cure, this gives you 104 extra healing with 3 casts. Alright? Whereas if you choose Abundant Soothing Glow, it's 108 extra healing, and it's already applied to you while you do other things. Now, Flash Cure is really good. You don't need Deliverance because you're not healing other people. You already have Judgment that you can insta-cast for way more heals. Resplendent Beam is basically chain heal from a shaman from World of Warcraft when you charge it. Because you're just healing yourself, this is wasted completely. There's no point in using this. So, Abundant Soothing Glow, what this does is before you do a massive pull, or as you do a massive pull, you just cast this 3 times on yourself. Now you have heal over time for 22 seconds. And you can, attack enemies, melee them, cast other spells. A whole lot of stuff long before the duration runs out. And when the duration gets close to running out, you will have all 3 charges back up to reapply it. So you can just have a heal over time on you consistently all of the time. Because of this, because you're not actively casting things and spending mana, you will have regenerated the mana, especially once you get level 6 and your melee attacks regenerate mana, and level 7 and 8 beyond that. You start scaling like absolutely super duper mega crazy. Your scaling gets so insane. But the other spells aren't as mana efficient, Flash Cure being a close second, and using, Plentiful Mend as a third. But by then, you'll be level 6, you'll start unlocking these abilities, which are more important. So just go with Abundant Soothing Glow. It's the easiest, most mana efficient, and highest healing thing that you can do. Looks like someone's mount is hurt. So, let's go touch them up there. There you go, Bubba Bum. Get you some mount heals. Alright, so let's do some gathering to craft this bag quest. What we're going to do is, from the storage clerk and the mailbox icon, we're just going to turn to the right here from the mailbox, and walk across the little room here to equipment vendor Liza, and we're going to buy 2 of these mining satchels. They cost 96 silver each plus tax, 288. That's our price. Go ahead and buy those, and let me show you how mining bags work or satchels work. So you can just right-click to equip it. That works, kinda. But the way you're supposed to do it is you go to your materials bag, and you would click this icon to swap bags. So I can take the bag off. I can put a bag here, and like if I want to swap this bag, I can do it like that, and that's how you swap and change your bags. But we have 3 bag slots. We have the one we start with, the Sanctus resource bag, and then we're going to have 2 mining satchels. So how do specific satchels work? Mining satchels give you a bonus stack size increase of 23. So if we go mine granite, which has a stack size in a regular bag of 20, but we put the granite in the mining satchel, it will now stack to 43, letting us carry over double of what we would normally do in a regular bag. But we're not going to mine just yet. We're going to gather herbs from any flower, and this is a quest to craft a bag. What we're going to end up doing is we're going to craft 2 bags, because we want general regular bags when we do a lot of mob grinding. Mob grinding with these bags isn't really ideal. A regular bag is usually just better. So this wants us to gather herbs from any flower. But before we actively do that, you'll notice that we're going outside. This is northeast, right? I didn't mean to put a map marker there. On the way outside, right at the doorway, there is this thing, and this is a commission board. What you want to do on the commission board is just pick up all the quests, alright? It's not going to fill up your quest log or anything, just pick them all up, and we're going to do those later, and they reset at a certain interval. So let me get that timer. Right now, the timer is in 14 minutes, 20 seconds. So what I would prefer to do is to complete the one closest by us, and then in 14 minutes, refresh it and get it all over again. So by spamming these commissions, we level up faster, and we also progress better, and we get some random rewards. But what we also want to do while we do this is we want to harvest Snowdrop, which is this white flower here on the ground. And there's also Daffodil, which is the orange flower you can see over here. And there's someone gathering, so I'm going to go beat them to it. But yeah, this is Daffodil. And we want to get at least a mixture of 10 Daffodil and Snowdrop. It doesn't matter if you get all Daffodil or all Snowdrop. And I didn't mean to dodge. I hit the wrong button there. Sometimes my keyboard gets stuck because it's an old keyboard. But, yeah, you have to start all over if you get interrupted. Let me make sure it's unstuck here, and it is. Good. But, yeah, you'll see here once I harvest this Daffodil, let's see how much we get. We got 3 Daffodil, and we need a total of 10. Now, normally this whole starting area is just full of resources, but someone has been actively mining it. And, yes, that was a dragonfly that flew by my face. But there's plenty just all over the place. You can ride around the starter zones. And again, it kind of lights up on your map where you can find this stuff. Sometimes it's bugged. But yeah, just get 10 herbs, and then we're going to do slay 4 mountain lions. So I'm going to go ahead and gather these. You get the idea. So you can see here I have 6 daffodils, 6 snowdrop. That means I have at least 10, and that's all we need for the bag quest. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to... This is the entrance to Hammer Rest, and... we're going to go northeast into this open little mountainous area here. And hold on, let me get the map back up. There we go. And this whole area, especially up here, is covered in mountain lions. And we're going to kill at least 4 of them, sometimes on the right here. Players usually kill these, but we're going to just kill 4 mountain lions before that commission timer is up, so we can double dip. But mountain lions are a good mob to grind. And yes, I know I didn't pull it with judgment. I wanted to get the mob tag because there's players all over the place. But you'll notice they have a star next to their name. This means that they are an elite mob. And even though we have a commission just to kill 4 of these, and yes, my weapon did disappear. Also, we got some trousers, some pants. Nope, they're not an upgrade. Bummer. We're going to kill 5 for the Destiny's quest that we have to kill 5 elite mobs. So just go ahead and kill 5 mountain lions. So once you've killed at least 4 mountain lions, you can see in the quest objective we have it completed. I'm going to go ahead and click this, which lets us click the complete commission, giving us XP, and this anvil's chest. So, there we go. We also got some, materials, too, some dull glint. But we're going to open this chest, and you can just completely get random stuff in this chest. In this case, we got Scroll of Crafting Experience. So, crafting and processing scrolls, the way they work is you only get XP when you craft something when you claim the crafted item. So what you do is you would pop this scroll before you claim the item that you craft to get the bonus XP. Pretty simple stuff. Now, under the Destiny, we have Initiate Adventuring, and you see that I have Kill 5 Elite Enemies, and we're going to claim that for 1,000 XP and 5 Dim Glint, which is just more money in our pocket. We have a lot more grinding to do, but first we want to make sure that we get this bag crafting stuff set up, and the reason why we want to do this is because we have to process the flowers into... coarse thread, and that takes real life time to do. And so we want to get that cooking while we go and do other things. Also, as you gather, you'll start completing these gathering sections on your Destiny, so just go ahead and claim them whenever they pop up. So we're back at Hammer Rest, and we are near where the quest is telling us to go, which is right here at the tailoring area, and we're going to go to the textile mill vendor. We're going to sell all of the glint we may have gotten from the mountain lions and quest rewards, but we're not going to sell anything else, just glint. That's all we're selling. Now, what we're going to do is it wants us to buy Dratwine Wax and Packright's Universal Strap Set. So here is how you do that. On the vendor here, we have a box for items and a box for materials. You're going to click the materials box, and instead of scrolling through trying to find the Dratwine Wax and the other stuff, the easiest way is to just type out the first few words of the thing you need. So This wants us to purchase Drat Wine Wax. So we're just going to type DR for Drat, and there it is. I'm going to left click it, and it wants me to buy 5, but I'm going to buy 10 because I want to craft 2 bags. So we're going to do a quantity of 10, which is already filled out for me, and hit purchase. There we go. And this is going to cost, after tax, 1 silver, 20 copper. We have 30. We got plenty. Then it wants me to buy a Packrite Universal Strap Set. So again, you can take any of these words and type it in. So I can type STR for strap, and there we go, Universal Strap Set. And we're going to buy 2 of these. There we go. I just right-clicked it twice to add 2. That's one way to do it, rather than using this Add Quantity button. And that's going to cost 24 copper, which is super cheap. There we go, we did it. Now, with those items purchased, we're going to go over to this little table that's a purple icon that looks like a weaving wheel. I don't know what it's called. A weaving wheel. I don't know. We're going to open this up, and you'll notice we have coarse thread. This says coarse thread with a parentheses of 10. We're going to, at the top in the middle here, we're going to grab the quantity slider and drag it all the way to 10. And then we're going to click this add button next to our gathered plants. Hold shift right click to add exactly what we need. It'll automatically do it, so you can't over add. It'll only add exactly what you put in the quantity here. And because we have 10 wax and 10 plants, we now hit start job. This will cost 3 silver, 50 copper, and this will take 5 minutes of real life time. If you click cancel, you lose your materials, so don't do that. Just for 5 minutes, we don't need to sit here and wait. We can go back outside and go grind some more. And that also completed, let's see, something somewhere in the Destinies, it says. No, maybe not. I don't know. Sometimes it bugs out. In this case, we did complete the crafting thing here for some XP. There we go. Now, we have some items here, and we don't want to lose these generally, right? So you would store them whenever you go out to, do a big grind fest. But because this is only 5 minutes, I'm just going to go kill mountain lions outside of town for 5 minutes, or do a bit of mining for 5 minutes, because we needed to mine a lot of metal. And lucky for us, the metal and the mountain lions are right next to each other. So, again, for 5 minutes, that's what I'm going to do. I'll skip ahead to that. By the way, this is how you mine things. So, this is granite. It looks like a bumpy, lumpy rock. And this is a small granite node. This is a bigger one. And you want to mine all the granite you see. Now, the gather button didn't pop up for me, but if you see that little white dot, you can still push F and gather it regardless. And what that's going to do is that's going to automatically put the resources in these 2 bags first. And if we happen to get any rare materials, sometimes we do. Let's see what we get. We're about to finish. We got granite and we got tendonite, which is good. This is a metal, and the more metal we get, the easier it will be to craft the weapons we need. And we're going to need a lot of metal to craft our magical weapons. I don't know why we need metal, but that's just what the game designates that we need. So what I'm going to do now is, again, for the next 5 minutes, I'm going to run through this little crevice here. I'm going to mine everything I see and kill all the mountain lions and ravens and stuff that I see. And this little stretch is bugged for ravens. They won't give us quest completions. But it looks like this guy's killing that mountain lion, so I'm going to run up and mine the stone here. Again, just, while our cloth is cooking, we're mining. This other resource, this looks like kind of like little columns or like pillars. This is basalt. This is the other resource that you could mine as a low-level miner. Now, I know some people find gathering in games very boring. However, when you gather, you also gain regular experience that will help you level up. So don't skip it. You may be seeing something like this. This is resonite. We can't mine this until we're an apprentice. We won't be doing that in this video. We won't be hitting apprentice in anything. You'll notice I got a rare material. This is blue. This is rough rhyme. Anyway, if you get rare materials, it's most likely, you're not going to stack this up to max. So pull it out of your mining satchel and put it in your regular bag. That way it frees up stuff that will be stacked maximum, like granite, basalt, and regular metals. And remember, in this game, there is no fast travel, there is no Hearthstone, there is no, I mean, you could death warp, but you're going to lose 50% of your materials, and you'd have to run back to your corpse to get 25% of it back. So it is not worth doing. You're going to have to get used to using auto run and just kind of traveling and just taking it easy. So you'll notice here that I just mined a resource and there's loot on the ground, and this is because I don't have enough room for it. And what I could do is I could throw out the extra snowdrop that I had like this, because it's easy to mine. And now I have room, and now I can loot it. So there we go. And you just have to Tetris your inventory around a bit. And, you know, 2 snowdrop is like, it's something I can instantly get right side out of Hammer's Rest. Hammer Rest, I always put an S there for some reason. But anyway, you get the idea. Just learn inventory management. Alright, on my way back into town, I'm going to grab another Slave Mountain Lion quest. That way, I'm stacking it. And again, you always want to be popping that quest every time, every chance that you get when you're in and out of town. Now, before we go craft our bags, we're going to go back to the storage clerk, and we are going to store everything but Glint and the Packrights Universal Strip. So, well, why is... I swear it worked earlier. That's because I didn't have Hammer Rest selected. That's why it wasn't quick moving. Yeah, we're just going to store everything, and if you just control right-click, it automatically puts it in and will automatically stack it to whatever it would normally stack with. Alright, and there we go. Everything's safe in our storage, and we'll worry about this later. We're gonna need a lot of silver, a lot of, maybe even a gold, to mill through all of the metal so we can craft our weapons, but we're gonna sell the Glint. And then, again, we have the Packrights Universal little set there, so we can make the bags. I'm going to run over to and collect our coarse thread that we've been milling. Processing. Milling would be food. I don't... Is it milling whenever you make cloth? I don't know. It is a weaving. Whatever, I don't know. We're going to click claim. We got the cloth, the coarse thread. And now we're going to go over to this table, and this is the tailoring table. We're going to click bag, and we're going to click simple rucksack. Add the coarse thread by shift right clicking, there we go, and click craft. That costs 75 copper, and then we're going to do that one more time so that we have 2 bags. Even though the quest wants us to craft 1 bag, we're gonna you know, have 2 bags because it's very useful when mob grinding. After that, we can then turn in the quest to Provisioner Hammer Song. Alright, and then we can go, and at this point we want to sell this dim glint that we just got as the quest reward, alright? Because, we're going to go to the laboratory vendor here, because we're about to pick up another trade pack on the ground, and that could flag us for PvP, and if someone ganks us, we lose money. So, we're going to grab the trade pack here. There it is, it's on our back. And we're just going to carry it across to the quest objective, which is right over here across the damn hall. You can see it right here on your map. You can open the big map if you don't know where to go, but just follow the quest objective. I'll show you where to turn it in. Now, in front of you, there will be an NPC with an exclamation point. This is not who you turn the crate into. You could talk to them, but it's just dialogue. I don't know what it means. I guess it means they have a quest at some point for you. But what you want to do is this scaffolding. You want to take it over here, and then click deliver, or push F or whatever, and then that turns in the quest. In which point, you return to the NPC and get the follow-up. The Provisioner calls us a hoe. Ho, you're back. I'm sure it's a friendly hoe, okay? And then we go back to Commander Dunschasm. And this pretty much wraps up the starter quest. There is one more thing that he wants us to do, and that is to go to the Vinebreaker mines, which we're not going to do that for a little while. We need to be at least level 7, preferably, before we can go mass clear that place. But once we hit 7, we're going to be bussing. Like, we're one of the earlier classes that can AoE it down super duper quickly. There's only a few other classes that can also do that. But by doing all of this, we just got a whole bunch of quest rewards. We have 2 bags for mob grinding. We have 4 recipe chests. We'll start with the potion recipe chests, okay? Potion recipe box. Open 1, get arcane potion. Open the other potion recipe box, get the might potion. Then learn both. Now, this is the very, very important part. You're going to learn how to craft the spellbook and the scepter. So on the first weapon box, we're going to learn how to craft the scepter, because we want a scepter upgrade. On the second weapon box, we're going to learn how to craft the spellbook. Alright? And then what we're going to be doing now until level 10 is we're going to be grinding mobs, because we're going to need a lot of materials and a lot of money to craft these. And we're going to do a lot of gathering to get all the required materials to build these items. Also, in your destinies, you might have gotten this gatherer's shirt box. You can, whatever gathering profession you want to go is what shirt you would pick. For the video, I'm not going to pick anything because that choice is ultimately up to you, but I will say for a solo player, you should not go fisherman. That is a group gathering activity. It is AFKable though, so if you like to AFK a lot, do dishes, make dinner, then fishing could be for you, but it's ultimately your choice. So at this point, your destiny should look like this: 8 out of 8 first steps, 8 out of 8 novice combat, 1 out of 8 adventurer, 2 out of 8 crafting, 4 out of 8 gatherer, maybe, not always, because I did get rare materials. You might not have gotten any rare materials, and that's fine. You'd be 3 out of 8. And then novice processing, 1 out of 8. So just make sure you claim all of that, and then before you head out, you're going to make sure that you sell your glint. Always, always, always sell that glint. Just find any NPC that has vendor in their name. Hello, Mr. Hideworks Vendor. It's a shame your parents named you that, but there you go. It's easy to find. All right, so before we head out, again, I am checking the board here. I'm just going to make sure that I have claimed all of those. In 40 minutes, this board refreshes. So before our goal is to go down here now to the Hammer Rest Trade Outpost, because we're going to pick up even more commission quests, but there's a way to stack them sometimes. I don't know if it's bugged or if it's intentional, but what we're going to do is we're going to complete, once again, the Slay for Mountain Lions quest super duper quick, and then we're going to claim it, and then by the time we go down here, they have their own commission boards, which also sometimes includes Slay 4 Mountain Lions. So this just lets us stack quest after quest after quest and get more and more rewards. And again, I'm just going to run over here, kill mountain lions, and so on and so forth. And if I see any rocks like this, I'm definitely going to mine them up. And again, my bags are completely empty, so there's plenty of room for mining. We're going to need to do a lot of mining. All right, there we go. We've slayed the 4 mountain lions. We claimed the quest. Very important to claim it and get the reward before we head down here to the Hammer Rest Trade Outpost. When you first arrive inside of the Hammer Rest Trade Outpost, that completes one of your destinies under Adventurer. So we're going to claim that reward. That's 5 dim glint, and you get a reward for 2 more dim glint. Very, very cool. And you might ding 6, you might not, depending on your gathering. I'll go over level 6 skills in a bit, but as soon as you enter, there is a small green, and servant says, "I watch you." And I'm going to have to say, "Cheers, lad." Cheers, lad. Anyway, so I hate that I'm not talking to my fans right now, but hey, you made it in the video, servant. Mwah, there you go. Kiss on your forehead. So this little green outpost here, make more vids on this. I'm filming right now. Smiley face. There we go. You're in the video. So right here, this little green thing is a commission board. It has the same stuff as the other town, but hey, look, we got another Slay the Mountain Lions quest, and we didn't have to wait 40 minutes to get it, right? So if we beat this one, then when because they share the same refresh timer. So we can go back to Hammer Rest, do 4 Mountain Lions, come here, get another 4 Mountain Lions, and do that as well. This is how you stack your quests. Now, this commission board over here, just to the right across the street a bit, this one bugs out sometimes. I'm subbed, by the way. Hell yeah, appreciate it. So this is another commission board, and this one usually has things for gathering. So it's been bugged in my last 2 videos, but it looks like it's working finally. It's a Christmas Day miracle. I'm filming this on Christmas Day. So here is what I recommend the quest that you take. Anything involving mining granite, zinc, ruby, tendonite, copper, basalt, or rough rime. Snowdrop and daffodil for the harvesting, and eastern hemlock for tree chopping. There are other trees in the area you can absolutely chop, like larch or lurch, I forget what it's called. There's actually one in front of me, let me see the name. The problem with getting all the different trees is that you're going to run out of storage, and it's going to be hard to stack all of these. And so I just say screw the trees because, yeah, western larch. That's another one that's nearby. But I recommend just sticking with the eastern hemlock, all right? So if we look at the board that's giving me, we have one for rubies, all right? Let's see. Zinc, rough rime, tendonite, snowdrop. So I'm gonna grab all of these. And now here's the thing. This refreshes in 31 minutes, and it's going to give me brand new ones. Even if I don't complete the ones that I picked up, they just set in my quest log, and I can complete these at any time. There's no rush. There's no time limit. And, yeah, so just check into this board every so often and grab quests for things that you're going to be gathering. So what we need to do now is we need to gather materials and grind. We need to grind to increase our silver. We need to gather to start producing items that we need to craft. So let's get started with some wood chopping. So let's start with some tree chopping, and I know we don't have bags for trees, and that's fine, we don't need it. This one resource bag is all we need, because we only need 55 trees. Now, when we chop an adult tree, we're going to get 5 wood from that tree, so we only need 55 wood. I recommend that you chop these trees that are called Eastern Hemlock. They look just like this. This is an adult tree that will give you 5 wood. If you chop an adolescent or a younger, smaller looking tree, you only get 3. And the reason we want to chop the adult trees is they have a higher percent chance of dropping rarer items. And they get more XP, and they're just more time efficient. So there we go. We got 5 Eastern Hemlock wood, and it's a 1x3 on the grid. So there we go. And we just need 55 of those. That's what we're going to do. So just run around and chop 55 wood worth of trees. And while you're out chopping trees, make sure you're also doing quests like you're killing ravens quest, you're killing mountain lions. If Stonehawks aren't really near any of the towns, so don't worry too much about that. But just make sure you're doing your quests. Now, do note that the rarity doesn't matter. We just need 55. So I've got 20, 20, 10, and 5. Though this is uncommon, right? So that adds up to 55. So now what we can do is we're going to ride back up to Hammer Rest, and we're going to start the process of processing this wood into timber, which takes real life time to do. So outside of Hammer Rest, we're looking for the icon that looks like a table saw, which is the saw blade sticking out of, the ground or whatever. And if you go to it, and you go down here to Eastern Hemlock Timber, you'll notice it requires sanding powder in order to process. Well, there is a woodshop foreman and a woodshop vendor. We're going to go to the woodshop vendor, and we needed sanding powder, so I'm just going to type SA for sanding. And then we're going to buy 55 of these, and that's going to cost us, after tax, 6 silver, 60 copper. We're going to go ahead and buy that. There we go. We have 29 silver remaining. We're going to go to the lumber milling station. That's what this is called. Go to Eastern Hemlock, grab the quantity bar, drag it to 55, go to add, shift right-click all of the wood that we have, submit it. This is going to cost us 19 silver, 25 copper, and it's going to take 27 minutes and 30 seconds. So there we go. While that's cooking, now we're going to go back to mining and killing mountain lions. If there are too many people killing mountain lions, we could go back and grind at those clay mobs inside the starter zone, that big room where the guardians were earlier on, but we wouldn't be able to mine while we do that. And we need to fill up our mining satchels a bunch, because we need a lot of metal, and we have to process that metal, which means we need silver, so we got to do a lot of mob grinding. It's a process, but it's something you got to do, and you'll get used to doing it. That's kind of the whole game right now. Now, the commissions we got earlier, like deliver rubies to a commission drop box and stuff, you may be tempted to do these now, but you don't want to use crafting materials that we need for our weapons until after we've secured them. Any surplus will then be used on commissions. So just keep that in mind. So as you run around mining and killing mountain lions, you are eventually going to hit level 6, which is a huge stepping stone, and what you're going to choose is Bless Weapon. I know this doesn't sound like it's good, and it sounds like, oh, 5% damage. No, this is huge. This is massive for us, all right? So you're going to pick Bless Weapon, confirm that choice, and then just, I don't even have it bound. I just target myself and then cast it. And now your auto attacks will start dealing a little bit extra damage right now. And at this point, if you wanted to mass AoEs pull mountain lions, you absolutely can. So let me finish this dude off real quick, and just kind of show you what that looks like. It's pretty simple once you start learning how to do it. Even though we had the scepter out when we blessed it, the book will still be blessed, but we're gonna just mass pull. So we're just gonna swap to our book, and hello. I guess that mob is bugged because it's not shooting at it, but that one's not bugged. All right, cool. And then we're just going to use our ranged weapon and pull as many mountain lions as we feel like. Okay, so that one's not being pulled either for some reason. Okay, some of these are bugged out. I mean, this grind spot's getting a little more popular. There we go, we got some respawns. They must be client side there, because I know there was a guy that's grinding. Yeah, he's running around trying to pull everything too. But we're going to switch to melee now, and again, we just keep everything in front of us. We pop our, heals over time, our healing touch if we need it, and you just melee them down. And this is why we chose to go tanky. But you can see here I can self-heal with my E spell. I've got Q spells to top myself off. And I've got plenty of divine, whatever it's called. Also, I don't know why this guy's jumping in to help. I've already got the mob tag, so he's not going to get any XP or anything. But, yeah. You just rinse and repeat this, and you grab all the loot, and, yeah, you just keep at it. You can also cast your Soothing Glow a bunch of times on yourself as you pull or before you pull. And if this area gets too crowded, you can always go somewhere else and grind. Oh, that was a great sword rogue, so he probably watches the videos. Yeah, I'm the one that started that. That's all me. But yeah. You can also just kill mobs one at a time, too. You know, it's whatever you want to do. Just like this. I didn't do that in order. I was supposed to Judgment first, so it conflags, but you can see that they die so freaking fast that at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. You know, it becomes... you know, just mash your keyboard, hit your buttons, and you're not going to die, and you're going to kill everything. Besides grinding for money or glint, we also need to grind for this, Anvil's Essence. We're going to need 20 of these total, and you may have gotten some earlier from, you know, other mobs that you grinded beforehand, but, again, you're going to need 20, so you can't stop grinding until you get 20. We can't craft our weapons until we've got a total of 20, so... you know, after you've went around and mined for a bunch, just beat up these mountain lions. As we level, it's going to get easier and easier and easier and faster. And the grind gets really, really good around level 7 and especially at level 8. As your weapons level up, mine are level 6 at the moment, you can start putting points into damage focus, so weapon combo attacks deal 1% more damage. And as far as the book, again, you're just using the book to mass pull, range pull, so it doesn't matter what you pick. You can go for more damage. You can also go for damage if they're burning, but I would just go with more damage. Alright, so the lions that I couldn't attack for some reason, that was a client-side glitch, so I just relogged. And by the way, I just want to point out, when you relog, it will unbless your weapon. So make sure you rebuff yourself, otherwise your DPS is going to be crap. So let me show you at level 6 what a mass pull looks like. We got a bunch of mountain lions here. I've got heals over time stacked with Soothing Glow. They're starting to pounce and knock me down. They only do that whenever they're far away. I'm going to use Healing Touch on myself. I'm still getting a little bit low. I'm going to spam Smite because it's instant cast at close range. And I'm going to keep Soothing Glow on me. Now I'm about half HP. I'm going to target myself. Cast Judgment. Instant cast Judgment. Go back to meleeing. Hit them with Smite. Cast Heal over time on myself. Spam my Q stacks. My Mend. Get topped up. There we go. And the fight's pretty much over for them. You can see that they're not killing me. I've got heals over time stacked. I can hit Q. I'm back down to about half HP once again. I'm going to target myself, do that instant cast Judgment. I'm back to full HP. I'm barely missing any mana at all. And while this fight does take time to conclude because I've pulled so many at once, as soon as I hit 7, we get a huge, massive, big power spike that's going to wrap this fight up in less than half the time. And then at level 8... we have another area of effect spell that lowers the enemy's magic resistance, making it so that they die even faster. And at level 9, that attack will also start healing us. And from there, it's pretty much over. You can just solo grind everything as long as you have the mana to heal yourself. It's really, really, really simple. You don't have to do big pulls. Like right now, there's some other players nearby doing pulls. So if I want, I can just use Judgment offensively and kill single targets faster while spamming Smite. And, you know, since there's only a few mountain lions at a time, they're never gonna kill me. Even if my health gets low, I can just roll away and spam heals. There's so much that I can do. And, again, just keep grinding. You'll hit 7 in no time. When you hit level 7, this is the upgrade, Righteous Blessed Weapon. So you have a chance to proc 20% damage and apply 30% fire burning damage. Oh man, this thing will massively, massively speed up the grind. Alright, so at level 7, your rotation is still the same. You're going to use your Tome of Spells and just mass pull the Mountain Lions, or whatever it is you're grinding. In this case, Mountain Lions for me. And I didn't mean to Healing Touch, that was a miss input, not a click. Also, this guy's trying to get my mobs. Alright, there we go, switch to melee, stack one more heal over time, try to dodge the pounce, and now we just kill them. We just sit here and we just attack, and now they're burning, and you can see it's a lot more damage, but it can still go much higher. Absolutely. Right? Now, we have one more ability that we're going to unlock here. Well, not one more, but you get the idea. At level 8, and yeah, they're dead. I don't have to pay attention to my health. It is this ability, Consecrating Wave. This deals 150% radiant damage, but it also applies Volatile, which lowers their magic defense by 15%. So that is what we are putting our next level into. And yeah, so we're getting a bunch of loot. We're getting a bunch of glint. And when we have about 40 silver worth is a good time to return. So I have 10 silver. That would be 20, 30, 38. I'm close to returning. I've also got some random items that I can sell here. So I'm pretty close to 40. Ooh, that's an upgrade. Yeah, there we go. We got a green earring. Cool. Very cool stuff. So I'm going to grind here a bit more, make sure that I have a slightly more than 40 silver so we can start processing some of the stone we're mining. Right now we are level 7 and 24.6%. We have a full bag full of mining goods. Our regular bag is also full. And we just arrived back in town, so we're going to just grab everything there is here, which the only one is the Slay the Mountain Lions. We're going to go to the vendor, and we are going to sell glint, so glowing glint, the dim glint, and the dull glint. Everything else that we have right now, we are going to go to storage and put it in. We got 7 Anvil's Essences, and we need a total of 20 of these, so we still have more grinding to do. And our silver is at 45, so we're going to need more silver to process more goods. Now, for this step, we need to process stone into metal, or process metal into shards, fragments, whatever you want to call it. So, depending on your luck, you may or may not have enough metal shards. And what we do, or what we need rather, is we are going to need a total of 43 metal fragments. And metal fragments can be made with copper, tendonite, also zinc, and I don't really use rough rime, but I'm pretty sure you can use it for rough rime. So what you want to do is, if you have enough to have 43 of these, then you don't need to mine any more stone. However, if you don't have enough metal, then what you need to do is process some of your granite and your basalt into sand in order to get metal. So I'm going to show you how to do that, because I think I'm pretty lucky with my metal drops, but some people are just not lucky at all. So I'm going to grab a stack of 40 granite, just 40. You can grab more or less. Also, this guy's mount is desperately wounded, so I'm going to tend to that real quick. You know, just give him the old patch up. There you go. And it's just a nice thing to do for people. And I'm going to show you how to process stone into sand, which gives us metal. So if you go over here to this little metalworking station, it looks like an anvil icon. When you go to the anvil, you'll notice that there is a sand option, and we want to crush granite, and we need crag shatter salts. So we're going to go to the smithy vendor right next to him, go to material, and then type crag, and we're going to buy 40 of these. That is going to cost 3 silver, 20 copper, plus tax 480. There, oh, I hit cancel. There we go, we bought it. And then we go over here to, again, the anvil icon. We go to sand, we go to crush granite, drag the quantity to 40, go to add on granite, shift right click that in there, hit submit. This will take 3 silver, 20 copper, and 40 minutes. It takes a long time to turn granite into sand, but we will get copper, zinc, tendonite, and coal, which is how, again, tendonite, copper, and zinc are what we're going to turn into metal shards. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start that process. Now you may be thinking, well, I have a lot more stone, and if I processed 80, well, that would be, well, instead of 40 minutes, it'd be 80 minutes. So you can see how the time generally works. But, you know, well, how do you get more metalworking stations? Well, here's the thing. You can in cities and towns, but what we're going to do instead is we're going to leave Hammer's Rest, and we're going to ride south to the Hammer Rest trade outpost, and we're going to process some of the stone there as well. So normally what I like to do in one town is process all of my granite, and then in the other town process all of my basalt. And then as I do more grinding, because again, the big long grind is getting 20 of these Anvil's Essences. I have 9 right now. Mountain Lions, they're okay, they sometimes drop them. The clay guys in the starter zone are really good at dropping these, and the mines, the Vinebreaker mines, which we're going to go to later, are the best place to find these. But while we do that, we also need to start processing all the other little piddly-diddly things that we need to craft our weapons. So I'm gonna go now to remember the milling station, the sawmill. We're gonna go pull out all the timber because it should be ready by now. Here we are at the mill, and we're gonna claim 55 of the eastern hemlock timber. We also get wood chips, which is used in crafting. But there we go. We got some nice timber. And with that timber, we're going to craft a few other little smaller items that our weapons need. But we can always also do that later. But because money is scarce, you know, we did complete another processing, process 50 materials, so we can claim that. That is 5 glint and 1,000 XP. We can also claim the first reward there, which is another 2 glint. That's another 7 silver. Now, your storage may be full, and you might be, like, really tempted to Tetris it around and fit everything in, but I'm going to tell you right now, these are low-level materials. Like, you see this stack of basalt? It's 1 out of 20. I'm just going to trash it. There we go. And we can just move some stuff up there, and, you know, I might have to do a little more Tetrising, but, you know, a small stack of something like, oh, heroic copper, oh boy, right? Like, rough rhyme, let's just get rid of, that's 4. I don't need just 4, but, you know, we can definitely get some room here, and now we can fit our timber, and I can never get this right, but yeah, get in there, wood chips and timber. So we got the wood chips and the timber, and again, we're going to use all of this to craft the weapons, but we need metal shards. And while the granite is cooking, you could also start processing your metals. So right now, the most metal that I have, you know, like, figure it out, I think it's zinc for me. It's always going to be random, but I have 20 zinc, 25 zinc there, so I'm going to pull out 25 zinc. I'm pretty sure that's the most that I've got. And that same station with the anvil icon is how we're going to get the metal fragments. But you can only cook or process 1 at a time on the novice stations, which is all we have access to right now. So I'm going to ride down now to the Hammer Rest Trade Outpost and get this 25 zinc started. So here I am in the Hammer Rest Artisan Outpost, whatever, the Trade Outpost. I like how it's a different name on the mini-map. But same deal, this time I'm going to open it, and what do I have in my inventory again? I have zinc, so I need zinc fragments. These are metal fragments. We can use any metal fragment for crafting certain things. So we need smoldering ash, and well, I have 25 zinc, so I'm going to go to the vendor, and there's always a vendor nearby. We have smithy vendor, there it is, and we need a smoldering ash. We need 25. There we go, that is 2 silver plus tax is 3 silver, cool. 50% tax really sucks. And then we go here, and we put 25, add the zinc, and that'll cost us 8 silver, 75 copper, and it'll take 12 minutes and 30 seconds. So now that is cooking in that crafting bench. And so when we come back later, we'll pick up the metal shards. But we need a total of 43 metal shards. And I guess mine bugged out. I killed 25 enemies, obviously, which gave me 5 more glint. Or 2 more? Yeah, no, it's 5 more. Oh, by the way, if you don't realize it by now, each storage clerk for each town has their own storage. So even though our Hammer Rest storage is pretty damn full, you can start storing stuff at the Hammer's Rest Trade Outpost. That way, you know, let's make sure we swap it to general storage, of course. But I have nothing to store right now because my inventory is empty. So because we need Anvil Essence, what we're going to do is grind the Claiborne guys, and I'm going to give you a few pulling tips. Now, if you get within their personal space, if you get in their bubble, they will aggro you, right? And as a Cleric, I mean, they're going to be attacking you or your mount. It really depends. Sometimes if the AoE hits your mount. As a Cleric, you can just heal your mount. And sometimes they don't aggro for some reason. I'm not really sure why, but the risky thing about doing this to pull mobs, especially mass pulling mobs, is that if another player is around or in the area that has area of effect, then they can steal all your mobs, which sucks. It really does suck, right? So the alternative, or what you should do rather, is just learn to individually pull using your ranged weapon and then mass kill them. And these guys, they don't give as much XP as the mountain lions, and their loot table's mostly the same. I don't know why this guy is shooting my mobs, but whatever. The experience is pretty good. It's not as good, but you can pull way more. But what you can do is, well, because these guys there's way more of them, you're more likely to get those Anvil Essence drops. So this is where I like to farm them. And again, the XP isn't bad. It's still really, really good. However, when I went to go farm back to Mountain Lions, there was like 4 different players there. And there's a lot of players here too, but as long as I am hitting each individual Playborn one time with my ranged weapon, and then swapping and, you know, cleaving them all down, well, I'm getting the mob tags, so I'm getting the XP, I'm getting the loot, and yeah, you just gotta be greedy and aggressive out here. As you grind, be aware of set bonuses. So you'll see here that I have a Lost Pauldrons for 44 defense, and this one is Deepwater Bastion Pauldrons, but this one has a bonus set of Fortitude, which I already have 3 out of 5 pieces. So now if I equip it, and I have a duplicate here, I am now 4 out of 5 on Fortitude, and if I get 5 out of 5 Fortitude, well, that's a 15% boost to Constitution, which is HP, and Mentality, which is MP, so that's pretty nice. Just a little added bonus for something. Just keep on the lookout for gear that drops. By the way, you know, this grind is also really good for recipes and gear. I got a helmet, a cape, I think, what else did I get? I think that was about it, really, just a helmet and a cape, but, these guys are super easy. They melt. They're not going to kill you. You can just AFK in front of them. All right, so at some point, your weapons are going to hit level 8. I'm actually 8.5 here. And you get the next tier up of weapon abilities. And so Ward is what I recommend because it gives you a bonus 5% block chance all the time. And it also heals you as you deal damage with melee attacks. The other alternative is Follow Through, which gives you mana, but hey, your Blessed Weapon already does that. And Keen Edge, which gives you more critical strike chance, which can be nice. However, when you fight really hard mobs, Ward is just really, really nice for that survivability. And there you go. Now, for your ranged weapon, your Tome of Spells, I do recommend Keen Edge because you're just using that to pull mobs, and so if it crits, it crits, which is really nice. Just like the Mountain Lions, you can pull the freaking entire room if there's not other players around, you know. And when you kill these, they drop so much loot, they drop so much glint, materials, raw items, recipes. But most importantly, what we're after is the Anvil Essence. That is absolutely what we're here for. Let's see how much we get. Ooh, yeah. I think we got 1. It was like 1 essence out of that pool. But let's see. I had 9 essence in storage. I have 10 now, so I just need 1 more. And then we can move on to crafting the metal shards, and then we can get our weapons. And by the way, completing the, what is the, hold on. Completing the, what is it called here? Yeah, the Fortitude set, check it out. So, right now my HP, my max HP is 900. If I take off the Fortitude set, it drops to 773, alright? So, and also more maximum mana. More mana means more, you know, livelihood. You can pull more mobs, you can last longer in a, you know, in a standoff, a lot of things, right? So, I actually have enough essences now. I have 11. I'm very, very close to level 8, so I kind of sort of want to just stay here and grind that out. It wouldn't take me very long at all, since, you know, these do give good XP. Whenever you have a good spot, it's hard to give it up, because what happens is, if you're pulling the whole room, and someone also wants to pull the whole room, they'll probably just leave and go somewhere else. But if they show up and there's no one here, then they'll claim it for themselves. So that's just how it is in these old school MMOs. As your weapon levels up, you're going to then go into weighted follow through, which is damage and penetration. So yeah, more auto attack damage. Yeah. And for your ranged weapon, you can just go for more projectile damage. More damage can't hurt. Alright, we have now reached a level 8. So, let me show you what point to put into next here. And this is Consecrating Wave. This thing is awesome. This thing is just a massive frontal death cone of magic. Yeah, it hits hard. It hits hard. It's got a big AoE and a pretty short cooldown. And it's going to be lowering the magic resistance, making your auto attacks hit even harder. Alright, checking on the granite that we crushed, we got 40 sand, and let's see what else we got. 3 copper, 5 zinc, 7 titanite, 4 coal. So there we go, we got some metal, and we just need to get more metal chunks, or metal fragments rather. And then we can craft a few other minor little small things, which take no time at all, and the weapons are ours. Since we're back in town, we're going to go to the vendor and sell our glint, so that's 20 silver right there that we farmed up. So we got a pretty good amount of silver for crafting. We also got more than enough of the anvil essences that we'll need. And again, we're just going to store everything. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull out whichever metal that we have the most of. I think this time it'll be copper, because we have, what, 15, 7, no, it's 10 tonight. We have 17 copper there. But I definitely have 41 tendonite. So yeah, we definitely want to get all of that tendonite turned into metal shards. So again, the process is, let's see, tendonite fragments is smoldering ash. And I'm just going to buy, what is it? No, that's not ash. What do we say? 41, purchase, and purchase. There we go. Got plenty of silver. And we're going to do half the stack this time. So I'm going to do 21 here. I'm going to go to that other settlement and do the other 20. And that way it cooks in half the time. So we don't have to wait, let's see, this is 7. So we're at 10 minutes and 30 seconds. So instead of waiting 20 minutes, I can just wait 10 minutes between both camps. And that's going to, you know, save us a little bit of time. Alright, so we are back at the Hammer Rest Trade Outpost, little place, whatever. And yeah, we're going to claim those 25 fragments into inventory, and then we're going to cook another 20 here. And normally I would just go grind during this little 10-minute job, but I've got some real-life stuff to do, so I'm just going to go AFK and be back in 10 minutes. Alright, 10 minutes later, and we claim the metal fragments. Now back to Hammer Rest to claim those fragments. Alright, and now we claim these fragments. There we go. And I'm a little overboard on fragments, but hey, that's fine. You know, it's always good to have a surplus just in case you misclick, or if you want to craft other things later, or if you make some friends and you be like, hey, I can craft you a cool scepter, blah, blah, blah. It's whatever you really want to do with it. Alright, so we're going to need to craft just a few more things before we get started, but right now I have the metal fragments in my inventory. I've got the timber, I've got 3 granite, and 8 rough ruby. So if we go over to the stone masonry table, there's a few things we need to do. We need to make 3 weapon molds, and I'm just going to use granite as a weapon mold. You can do any of them, but basalt and granite are the only 2 that we could really technically do. So I'm going to need 3 binding resin from the stone mason or stone works vendor. So we're just going to click materials, type res for resin, and then buy 3 of these. And again, that's 36 copper. Whoop-de-doo, right? And this takes no time at all. Make sure that you do not misclick. I did this in a video. It was embarrassing. Do not click armor mold. Turn, like, close armor mold. Blah. Craft granite weapon mold. 3 of them. There we go. We're going to add the granite and add the any processed timber. And that's going to cost 1.5 silver for 1 minute and a half. That's all it takes. Very, very, very short time. Next up, while that's cooking, we're going to prepare the rubies, which is on the same table. We're going to need 8 gem cleansers, because we need 8 cut rubies. Alright, so we're going to go over here and just type gem, or GE, and we're just going to buy 8 of these. Here we go. Simple enough. That's just 1 silver. We got plenty of silver at this point. Alright, the weapon mold is done. Let's go ahead and claim those, and then let's cut the rubies. Alright, quantity 8, add the rough rubies, all of them. And that's 280 for 4 minutes worth of processing, so I'm just going to chill here until they're done. Alright, the rubies are done. So with that, we should have everything we need to start crafting our weapons. We're going to head over back to the forge area. And that and this little icon that looks like a magic staff, the scribe station. No, it is not the scribe station. It is called the arcane engineering station. So we're going to click Spell Book, and then we're going to click Wayward Book of Spells. Now, we have everything here, except for Book's Final Touches, which if we hover over it, you can purchase this at the laboratory, I don't know how to say it, which is right next to the bench. Laboratory vendor, and we needed something Final Touches. I already forgot the damn name. Wow, it's super early. Book. Okay, there we go. So we're just going to type B for book. Book's Final Touches, 8 copper. I'm pretty sure they'll raise the price when the game leaves alpha. I don't know. But we have a Book's Final Touch, so we can now craft Wayward Book of Spells. We're going to add all of the timber. There we go. The metal fragments. The cut gems, which is the rubies. And the essence, which is the anvil's essence. That's going to cost 75 copper. And there we go. We have now crafted the Book of Spells. So let me go ahead and show you how strong this thing is. So our current book is 397 magic power. This thing is 693 with 34 intelligence versus 59. Our old book was magic evasion. This one is healing crit power. Crit power on our heals, 334 of it. Yes, this is a healing book. I know, right? Pretty cool. just across from the arcane station. Over here, near the blacksmithing area, we have the weaponsmithing station. We go to Scepter, Wayward Scepter. It needs a Scepter's final touch. So we're going to go to the smithy vendor and type SC for Scepter, buy one of those. Also, just 12 copper after tax. Go back, and now we can craft the Wayward Scepter. Don't craft the Iron Hearth. Craft the Wayward Scepter. Alright, 30 essence required for this one. There we go. 7 timber, which we have exactly 7 of. 3 weapon molds, we have those. And 10 essence, which we have. 75 copper going in. We craft it, and we are done. So now check this one out. This scepter goes from 71 magic power to 433. 7 intelligence to 40. 36 magic accuracy instead is replaced by 223 magical crit chance. Yes, we are absolutely balling. Ooh, that was a bright flash. And, yeah, we're going to re-bless the weapon now, and our heals are... Oh boy, let's see how hard we can heal ourselves with Judgment, okay? We can now heal for 710, which is well over 70% of our life. Probably, around, maybe, I don't know, pretty sure it is. With all the grinding we've done, we have a full set of gear, helmet, cape, we got earrings, rings, full plate. I even found some plate boots, doesn't always happen. And, yeah, we're ballin'. We are absolutely ballin' right now. We have a frontal cleave, blessed attack that's buffed. We have consecrating wave, which is massive, and that's going to deal lots of damage. We can heal the ever-living crap out of ourselves. And, we also have a very high block chance. We have base 17% physical resistance, with 21% chance to block, giving us 26% more physical block defense. So, yeah, pretty damn good. This means that 21% of the time, we're taking less than 41% of damage, physical damage. And because we can heal ourselves, we have lots of extra mana, lots of extra life. We're not only tanky, but we deal lots of damage, we have lots of sustain, and we're pretty ballin'. Now, what I recommend you do right now is you go to a vendor, and it's time to sell all the stuff that we don't need, right? Like... my ring, all my gear is set with the current best stuff that I'm wearing, so I would just sell like all of these random gear drops that I just don't need anymore, and let's get some more silver rolling. So after vendoring, get your repair tool, open your character panel, and make sure that all your gathering tools are nice and tidy and repaired. That way we can set out on a rather longer adventure this time. Now, before we set out for the mines, we are going to buy some buff items. So from the laboratory vendor, this one sells healing and mana potions, so I recommend you just stock up on some. And they also sell buff scrolls, which you can have one buff scroll active at a time, and they last for 2 hours of real time. So what I recommend is you can get mentality if you want more mana, or intelligence if you want more spell power. I'm going to go intelligence. I'm going to buy some of these. We're spending about 4.5 silver here, which is nothing. We're going to easily make that back. But there's also some food buffs that we can buy that from the cooking vendor outside that also will buff us up. So right here is the cooking station. You see the little cooking pot. You've got cookhouse chef and cookhouse vendor. If we go to the cookhouse vendor, they sell rations, which we don't really need as a healer. But they sell things like fresh salad for physical power, fruit salad for magic power. We want lots of fruit salad, and we love that magic power. You can also go for physical defense with the compote, but we're not a tank, right? I mean, if you want a tank, you can. You can also buy gathering clothes here for fisherman and hunter if you want, instead of having to craft them or use them as your chest reward. But I'm not really planning on fishing or hunting. Alright, so now we're going to head to the Vinebreaker mines. I'm going to show you how to get there most efficiently. So, as we travel on the road south, we're going to pass through the Hammer Rest Trade Post. You know where that's at. Once we get to this little fork in the road, we're going to take the rightmost fork right on the map. From our perspective, it will be the left side. Anyway, you're going to go down this fork, where my cursor is, and you're going to go south again until you hit this river. You're going to jump off this cliff into the river, and then we're going to swim east, and then the mines are right here. And this is the prime grind spot till level 10. It's also close to all the towns, so it's easy vendoring. If you die from a disconnect or something, you won't be dying to mobs. If you die to a disconnect or something, you just respawn right here at the hammer rest. I'm gonna go ahead and set my home here as well. And, well, not set home, it's like, you know, set your respawn point, I suppose. Remember how to do that? You go up and you push F, and then you attune. There we go. And, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and skip to the part where we jump into the river. Now, I also want to mention, because at level 10 we lose our PvP protection, if you mainly want to be a gatherer for whatever reason, I don't know why you would choose Cleric as a gathering class. I would probably choose Rogue if you're into that. I don't know. I don't really know what the best class for gathering is, really. But, you know, for Cleric, or just for gatherers in general, you might want to just level up via gathering as much as you can before hitting 10, so that when you do hit 10, you're not having to fight over as much resources or something. I'm not entirely sure, but essentially, if you... oh, we're at the cliff, by the way. I'm going to hit the speed boost on the mount, and we're just going to jump into the river, and jumping into water negates fall damage, as it normally does. Not so much in real life, but you get the idea. What I'm trying to say is that gatherers that are beyond level 10 tend to get ganked a lot because people want their resources. Let's say this person is probably fishing. Maybe not. Anyway, yeah, they're near the water, but let's pretend they were fishing. If they're beyond level 10 and they're AFK fishing, well, I could come up and kill them and steal a bunch of their fish. And they are fishing. There it is. There's the fishing pole. Anyway, so from the river, we're going to go east on the map. And you can follow along this wall, this cliff wall, and there's going to be some trees and stuff in the way. But the Vinebreaker mine opening is right here along the wall. So let me show you my favorite route to traverse the mines. So when you enter the mines, the best farm route, in my opinion, is you take a very sharp, hard right, and you go up this little hill. And this will put you near a bunch of rocklings, which are easy to kill. They drop good loot. They're the fastest to kill. It's very good XP. And also, there are two star elite mobs. One spawns here near this minecart, and then one spawns in further down. But you can, as a cleric, you can just run through and boop everything, and cast your spells and keep yourself healed. And nothing's gonna kill you in here. You're so tanky. You deal tons of damage, and yeah, we're going to use this to grind to 10. And also for the main story quest that we've kind of been having, it wants us to kill 10 enemies and then loot 2 of the strange ore samples. Those ore samples were at the very entrance, right inside the cave. You can see I've got a lot of enemies pulled here, and there's really not a whole lot that they can do. And, you know, I can just hit them with spells and keep myself topped up, and it's pretty much over for them. Now, you're going to see higher level elites here. The drop rates are going to be really, really nice for you. And again, these guys are barely hurting me. I can just healing touch myself and get most of my HP back. I can judgment myself. I can judgment the enemy if I want, right? I can start casting that and instant cast it. You know, hit them with another area of effect, consecrating wave. It's a little too easy as cleric right now. It really, really is. Compared to some other classes that have to do proper rotations and watch their health and stuff. As a cleric, you just cast your spells, grab the loot, just piano the keyboard, run up and boop everything. Nothing is really dangerous in here at all. So these did I crash? No, I did not. Okay, these animists. These guys with the stars. Now these are elites, and they cast spells. They're mages, which we do not. We're wearing plate armor, which is weak against magic. Well, not really weak. We just don't have magic defense, so to speak, right? And look, they're hurting me a little bit. Not really, though. I'm stunned at the moment, but look at this, okay? We're just gonna, well, instant heal ourselves like that, and we're back. We're so back, right? And yeah, the mages are gonna boot me around, but other than the mages, everything in here is a cinch. You just heal 2 damage. Look, I'm nearly full mana. I am nearly full mana. Now, I will tell you that my kill speed is not as fast as a fighter or a rogue. Yeah, sure. Okay, sure, you got me there, but your sustain is incomprehensibly high. Higher than every other class in the game. And it's only going to get better and better and better as you level up and get better gear. And remember, this is my sustain and my damage while in full plate. If I was in full cloth, getting all of the bonus stats for magic, you know, from that, then yeah, I would kill these even faster, but I would have to heal just as much as often. It's whatever playstyle that you prefer. I'm also grabbing the ore samples while I'm farming the mobs. So yeah, there we go. We did part of the quest. And I've already, actually, no, I've already done all the quests. I did this one for culling. There we go. We did the main story quest to deliver. Now we need to deliver intel to Hammerguard scouts. So let me talk about that. So this is how it gets you to a settlement. You don't need to do this or turn this in until you're level 10, because you can't really do settlements till 10. If you open the map, you'll notice that we can turn in the quest way over here at this settlement, or way down here at this settlement, or over here at this settlement. So that's all that is. It just wants you to go to a settlement and do settlement stuff, which this video won't be covering. This video is merely a level 1 to 10 guide for getting you started as a cleric. But I'm going to go ahead and do some grinding now, and I'll get back to you. Oh, one mistake I forgot to I made was I forgot to store my stuff. So I'm carrying all these fragments, which are annoying to, you know, farm, of course. So if I die, remember, 25% trash rate, 25% someone else can steal the loot rate. Here's a 2-star elite called the Chain Wound. And this one is probably the hardest one in here. He's also the rarest one. And yeah, he hits hard as hell. So you're going to have to actually push your healing buttons and heal yourself nice and proper. But you can absolutely do it. You can absolutely destroy him. And, you know, you won't go out of mana. You got potions. I'm not even using any of those buff scrolls I bought in town or anything. And yeah, I've got a bunch of mobs on me and stuff. But yeah, this guy is absolutely soloable as a cleric, okay? So don't be afraid of him. Don't try to avoid him. You are built for this. You are geared for this. And so Cleric is very good for farming 2-star elites because, well, look, I just got a golden strand there. And you can use that for crafting stuff. So very, very nice. And yes, as a cleric, you can AoE, frontal cleave, and farm a whole bunch of mobs, including the elites. And, it's just hard to beat this. Like, I know a fighter can kind of compare, but even then, they're a little slippery with it. And while you can come here at a lower level, you can see this is a level 5, I'll move the text. This is a level 5 cleric who is able to kill 2 casters solo. You can kill them, but it's so slow, it's not time efficient. I've spreadsheeted this out constantly, and my route is just more efficient and faster, and at level 5, the chances are he doesn't have the gear that we have either. So this is against Calcitooth, and I've already killed most of the Rocklings here already, but you can see it's a pretty not so hard fight. Calcitooth has a few hits like Haymaker and a few other things that hit you pretty hard, but even as a cloth healer, you could fully tank everything he throws at you, no problem whatsoever. So again, there's nothing to fear, nothing to worry about. And I did this while fighting all of the Rocklings too. So the thing with Calcitooth is, when you beat him, he's going to summon some more Rocklings, and those are the ones that drop the good stuff. Unless they changed it. But that's how it's usually been. So it is possible for players, or for you, to steal the drops. If you see someone killing Calcitooth, hang out, and then when the Rocklings spawn from his corpse, that's what you want to DPS down as quick as possible and get the tag for. That way you can get the rare drop. There we go, DPS down Calcitooth, and then the Rockling spawns. Sometimes it only spawns 2, sometimes it spawns 3. Actually, it looks like he's lootable. So yeah, we got a 10, 13 silver, some granite, and the tension canister there. A very, very, very good drop rate. Also, I don't know why the screen is now blue. That's weird. I guess I'm just blue in the eyes now forever. So I relog. I mean, it's an alpha. It's okay. You know, this kind of stuff happens. Or maybe it's just that area that's blue. It's hard to tell. But yeah, you could totally solo it as a healer. It's very, very easy. It just takes a bit of whacking, that's all. Alright, so we have now reached level 9, and I just want to mention that from level 9 to 10 is over twice as long as it takes to level from 8 to 9. So just be aware. Also, this guy's mount needs a little touch-up, and there we go. I don't know if I got it in time before he unsummoned it, but it looks like I did. I'm not really sure. It's hard to tell. Anyway, from that little grind session, we got a bunch of gear that none of it was really upgrades. Some recipes, some stuff. Didn't use any of my buff scrolls or anything. As far as glint goes, a lot of glint here. We got 67 silver. Of course it's 6-7. Of course it is, right? We got the tension canister and the golden strand as rare drops. 11 essence. Not as much essence as we would normally get. That's why I like grinding the clay guys in the starter zone. Though at level 8 and 9, you shouldn't grind the clay guys. They're too low leveled. But yeah, so now that we're level 9, what do you do? What are you supposed to do? Well, again, So let's talk about weapon levels first. All right, so for the scepter, we're going to continue along with weighted follow through and go ahead and just, you know, get more damage. And for the ranged weapon, we are going to get projectile damage. Now, stamina, again, stamina doesn't, like, this doesn't matter. If you want to use your shield more, you block more. If you want to dodge more, if you want to sprint more, it doesn't matter. You can respec anytime. It's not a big deal. So at level 9, what I recommend that you pick is Restorative Consecrating Wave so that you can heal yourself every time you Consecrating Wave. It's just a free heal. You'll have less problems with bigger pulls. However, at level 9 and 10, if you want, you can go Divine Flare into Divine Retribution for the big area damage. But the damage is divided, so it's not as big as you may think. If you're in a party and you have like someone that does melee, you could just go Bountiful Blessed Weapon so you can get mana while they go smash stuff. But other than this, you just have a bunch of different types of heals and stuff and dispels, which aren't really super necessary until later. You can condemn if you want to crowd control like a really hard enemy before they cast a spell on you or something. But other than that, if you just want more self-heals, then Flash Cure is the way to go. If you want to really, really min-maximize your healing. For me, I'm just going to go Restorative Consecrating Wave because it's a spell that I'm using every time it's off cooldown. And when I use it, I will now heal myself. Even though it's only for 90, it's still something I'm going to be using anyway, so there's no reason for me not to benefit more from it. A few things you may be thinking about is like crafting a shield upgrade or some gear upgrades. And here's the thing, before level 10, like having armor upgrades means almost nothing. When you start grinding mobs post level 10, you're going to get plenty of armor upgrades. It's the weapon upgrades that are actually hard to come by. Let me just heal this guy's mountain real quick. There you go, top it all up. Give it a little nice touch, and good as new. Oh, man. But yeah, so don't worry about armor upgrades. Don't worry about accessories this early level. Now, later levels, of course, but weapons are your most important upgrade. That's the first thing you want to upgrade. That's the first thing you want to pour resources into, time, effort, and energy into, because it's very, very rare that a mob drops a weapon upgrade. Even if you're fighting higher level group dungeon mobs in a static open world zone. I'm using Albion terms here. If you're fighting in like a group like area with elite mobs, then you absolutely do not want to. I mean, don't expect the weapon upgrade. It's nice if it hits, it really is. But as the game and world develops, before any wipes and towns start developing more, then people will have better weapons to sell and just save up your money, buy it from them, or craft it yourself. It's whatever you want to do. A few other neat tricks I'm not going to show off in the video, but if you want to really get more damage, then eventually you'll go Chains of Restraint as you level up. If you want to use your mount as a tether, you can Wings of Salvation to your mount. It's pretty silly. They'll probably fix that at some point, but other than that, pick whatever heal style you like. I think in groups, Resplendent Beam is just super lazy mode. You just sit there and spam Resplendent Beam. You're just like, Resplendent Beam. Oh, no, it's on cooldown. Okay, spam your other heals. But Resplendent Beam is going to bounce all over the place, top everyone up. It's really, really nice. Lazy way to play if you just want to heal in the back lines and do whatever. That and spamming your Soothing Glow all over everything all the time. That really sounded dirty, but you know what I'm saying. Just keep everyone healed over time and everyone will be nice and happy. Oh man, look how my money lined up. I have 1 gold, 1 silver, 11 copper. Alright, yeah, so with that said, that's pretty much it. I have taught you, the best possible start to the Cleric. Oh boy. So you should have a full suit of armor, really good best in slot pre-level 10 craftable weapons. There are better weapons than these before level 10, but they are insanely rare drops from really hard to kill group mobs in high level dungeons. So don't worry about it. Like it's like a 0.04% chance to get one, and you need a whole group of people to kill them, and it's just, then you gotta win the dice roll because only one drops. Not everyone gets it, right? And there you go. You're the healer. Why are you being given a weapon? What the hell, healer? Who ninja looted my weapon, right? But we can go ahead and just store everything here, and we got a nice storage just full of stuff. Plenty of materials that we can turn in for these quests. You know where to grind. You know where to go. You know how to make money. You know how to do your spell rotations. There's not anything more than I can teach you for levels 1 to 10. You just gotta grind out level 9 to 10. After that, you lose your PvP protection, and then guilds are gonna walk all over you and bully you until they fix it or whatever, which who knows when that'll be, but maybe eventually. Anyway, I have no life, no friends, no family, no life obligations, which means I read every single comment you guys put in my videos. And to prove it, I'm going to refresh my YouTube page and read the latest comment right now. You could be next. This is not, what is that bug killing game with the robots? Helldivers. Yes, not Helldivers. Alright, so someone said, your and Charlie Morgan's videos are still keeping me up in this life. Thanks, bro. Who the hell's Charlie Morgan? Has-Been Hotel? I don't know who that is. No, that would be Charlie Morningstar. Anyway, what I'm trying to... that comment was by CBHU Hope 3 _ a number that I'm not going to repeat because it's got connotations with bad things. So not going to say that number. But anyway, no, it's not 6'7", it's not 6'9". All right, you know the number. It's 4 digits. Someone said it in an old World War or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's all I got. Let me know what you think. Please leave a comment. Please like the video. If you don't like the video, I'm just gonna wither away and die. That's what happens. I'm just gonna be like, bleh. It will happen. It will happen. You better do it. And now I have quantum immortality, so I'll just go to another universe. But in your world, in your universe, it'll be like, oh, YouTuber Swole Benji passed away. And then you won't get guides anymore, so, you know, it's entirely your choice. You gotta click that like button. If you don't do it, whoopsie. Anyway, with that said, the last thing you gotta do, that's one more quest for you, bonus quest. There's a video on the right side of the screen. You gotta click that video. If you don't click that video, then animals are going to permanently hate you 1% more than they already do. That's a perma debuff. You don't want to get that on your record, okay? So click the next video, and animals won't hate you 1% more than they already do. Can you imagine a run where you, like, max out your animal hatred stats? So you, like, go to the zoo and all the animals are, like, slamming into the glass, trying to eat you and stuff? That'd be pretty funny, wouldn't it?